What's up with Juan Soto? Plus, we have some waiver wire options next on Fantasy Baseball Today in 5. Welcome into FBT in 5. As always, make sure to follow and stream us on Spotify. Today is Thursday, June 24th. I am Frank Stanfield, joined by Chris Towers. And in a game that had 25 runs scored and 27 hits combined between the Phillies and the Nationals, Juan Soto went 0 for 4 with a walk. He's batting .274 with an .825 OPS this season. Chris, what is going on with Juan Soto, and would you still feel comfortable trying to buy him?
Yeah, he had 4 home runs in the first 8 games of June, and it kind of looked like he was turning back into himself. And in 13 games since, he has 1 extra base hit compared to 3 grounded into double plays. So he's kind of fallen back on hard times. Plate discipline has still been excellent. He's just not hitting the ball for power. The thing with it, though, is he's still crushing the ball. He's still hitting the ball really, really hard. He's still, he's not hitting the ball in the air a ton, but it's not like it's been dramatically different than in previous seasons in his career. He's still, like 95th percentile in expected WOBA and expected batting average, 91st percentile in expected slugging percentage. Basically everything you want to see. Plate discipline, how hard he's hitting the ball. It all points to Juan Soto still being very much Juan Soto. And so that gives me reason to believe that moving forward, he's going to be Juan Soto. You can find my trade values chart on cbssports.com/fantasy. And in that trade values chart, you'll see that Juan Soto is still a top 5 player in both roto and head-to-head points leagues for me moving forward. That's how strongly I believe that what's happening so far this season, it's mostly just that he hasn't hit for power, and there's no reason to think that he won't hit for power moving forward. So if you have an opportunity to buy low on Juan Soto, if you could trade him for, somebody who's ranked in like the 20 range overall, I would be happy to do that right now for Juan Soto.
Yeah, on the full-length podcast, we brought up the possibility of trading away Kevin Gausman to try and acquire Juan Soto. It might take another piece there with Gausman, but something I would look into doing as well. I'm right there with you, Chris. I still have a ton of confidence in Juan Soto. How would you rank these waiver wire shortstops if you were in need of one? David Fletcher went 2 for 4 on Wednesday. Brendan Rodgers hit his 4th home run. J.P. Crawford has a 10-game hitting streak with 16 hits during that span. And Willy Adames has been pretty good with the Brewers since moving over there. So Fletcher, Rodgers, Crawford, Adames. How do you rank those, Chris?
Yeah, if all 4 of these guys are available in my league, Willy Adames is the clear choice for me. He's rostered in about 40% of leagues, so he's probably less available than the other 3 guys. But since heading over from the Tampa Bay Rays, he's got like an .825 OPS. He's on a 20-homer pace, on pace for about 91 or 98 RBI. And with a .280 batting average. And if you look at what he's done away from Tropicana Field for his career, it's been about a 25 homer, 90 runs, 70 RBI, .290 batting average pace for a full season. So I think this might just be who he is. If he's not available, I think Brendan Rodgers is the clear choice. Strikeout rate has been manageable so far. He plays 7 games at Coors Field in the next week. So if you need a short-term shortstop option who can turn into a long-term option, if Willy Adames isn't there, Brendan Rodgers is the clear choice.
How about for waiver wire starting pitchers? We had the Tigers prospect Matt Manning up against the Cardinals on Wednesday. 5 2/3, only 2 runs, but only 1 strikeout. So kind of a mixed bag of a start there. Caleb Smith was up against the Brewers with no Christian Yelich. 6 innings, 1 run, 4 walks to 6 strikeouts. And Mike Fultonevich turned in a quality start against the Oakland A's. Manning, Caleb Smith, Fulte. Are you interested in any of these, Chris?
Caleb Smith is the only one, and not really even in most 12-team leagues. I did add him in one 12-team roto league. We've seen him be a good source of strikeouts and pitch around his fly ball tendencies and his mediocre control in the past. So, for a stretch, I think Caleb Smith can be a useful fantasy option. I think he might have 2 starts next week, which helps as well. But beyond that, Manning just hasn't gotten enough swinging strikes, not enough strikeouts in his first 2 starts for me to get overly excited about him.
Let's wrap up with some news and notes. Aaron Savale was diagnosed with a sprained right middle finger. He'll be shut down from throwing for 1 to 2 weeks and is expected to require 4 to 5 weeks to complete his rehab program, which is just brutal for Cleveland. They've now lost Shane Bieber, Zach Plesac, and Aaron Savale to the IL. Marcus Stroman's MRI on his hip came back clean, so some good news there. Alex Bregman, who was on the IL with a quad injury, is still 2 to 3 weeks away from returning. And speaking of returning, we had a few of those on Wednesday. Cody Bellinger, Michael Conforto, and Kyle Tucker. Welcome back. For more extensive fantasy baseball coverage, listen to the Fantasy Baseball Today podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, your smart speakers, or anywhere else podcasts are found. And thanks for listening to Fantasy Baseball Today in 5. If you enjoyed the podcast, please leave a 5-star review on Apple. We'll be back again tomorrow morning. Bye-bye.